I'm Jaws on the beat, I got flow that kills. Do my ting with a few G's, Lauryn Hill.
And a big thanks to the channel sponsor, DistroKid. DistroKid is a music distribution service and the best way to get your music out to all of the modern streaming services fast, efficiently, and within an independent artist's budget. Check out the description below for a discount today.
Alright guys, so here we are in Logic, and I want to show you this awesome trick. I used Neutron in this case, but as long as you've got the same tools, you can apply the theory to just about anything. Neutron's just awesome because it's all contained into one little plugin, and I can do it nice and quickly. So what I've done here, I've got basically a sample that actually has kind of a nice bass line on it, but the bass line's not really there, and like just tanking it up with EQ wouldn't have done the job. As you can see, I've actually not boosted the bass with the EQ at all. In fact, I've taken out loads of this sort of lower mid-range, and this is just flat and rolled off. But I want you to hear this because we've got loads and loads of bass added. So original sample. So original sample. And now listen to the bass line when I bring Neutron in. Alright, so how do we do that? What's the theory behind it? Well, it's pretty simple in some aspect. As you can see, I've done loads of EQ in here, taken out like areas that I didn't like, left this little bit in because nice some tones, dip this back, nice little boost up there, just to give me kind of a fuller tone. So what we'll do, we'll switch off the other two and we can just listen with the EQ. Alright, so I've just flattened that out a little bit, how I liked it, right? So without the EQ. Yeah, it's a little bit muddy, old vinyl kind of feel, which is the sample we're after. I've just cleaned it up just a touch how I liked it. Alright, so that's step one. Step two, we're using an exciter, and I've done some pretty specific splitting up of the frequency here. Now, this bottom one is the key one. This bottom one, I've absolutely smashed it into tube saturation, like to a ridiculous extent. And if we solo just that low end, it's now basically taken the harmonic that was there, the like one tone, pushed it so hard into this tube emulation, it's generated loads of extra harmonics. That's then giving us this kind of ripping full bottom end now. With the mid section here that I'd taken out before, even though I've already dipped that with the EQ, I'm now putting it back in, but I'm putting back in the tones I want. Yeah, so that's given us the kind of bit of the bass the ear latches onto right around this area. And I've done a different type of saturation there, that's called retro in here. And I've pushed that pretty hard as well. So the two together has now given us a whole low end. Listen. Like it's literally not there without them. But remember, I had to tame this area with the EQ beforehand. I'm going to bring the tops in as well. All this area. This is left completely unsaturated. I've just got the EQ doing what it was doing, which was a little lift up here, basically, and a tiny cut around there. Alright, so all together, we now got this with the bass line. And then compressor just kind of squeezes it all together because it's now got loads of bass it didn't have before. Now there's lots of other post-processing going on. I've used some UADs, tape delay, and even submarine from waves. But you can hear a massive difference just with what I'm doing with Neutron there. And it's just one of my tips for when you've got a nice sample like that sounds wicked, and it's got a bass line there, and you want to use it. That is just one technique you can kind of use and abuse to bring it out. Some proper audio engineering for you. I hope that's been helpful for you guys. I hope you can use it in your music. And I look forward to seeing you on the next one. Take care.